This is Haute Living and Haute Time. We're at Basel World, sitting with the CEO of Karl Bucherer, Sascha. Sascha, first of all, I want to thank you for taking the time to sit down with us, but I wanted to ask you a couple of quick questions. A, to talk a little about the company, and then B, to talk about how Basel World 2012 has been for the brand.
It was my pleasure. Hello, welcome. And it was just an amazing fair this year. We had the best film fair ever since the history of Karl Bucherer, and I think also many other brands did a great job during this fair. The mood is very good, and not only that the Asian markets are very pushing, we have also a strong bounce back of the US market, and this is very important for us, especially within the last 8 weeks. The first 8 weeks in the year, they have been tremendous. So sales increased 50% to the previous year.
Oh wow, that's huge numbers.
That's amazing. And already last year, the first 6 months were tough, but the last quarter, especially in 2011, was already very good. But then about Karl Bucherer, I mean, this is just such an amazing company. It's a family-owned business, started in 1888 by Mr. Karl Bucherer. The first thing he was doing is was selling jewelry, diamonds, and he opened up his own retail shop. Then in 1919 he started to do Art Deco watches, lady watches, and still today the company is 100% owned by the Bucherer family.
One of the things that's really interesting that we were talking about is he's really the only brand where it bears the name of the company, but it's a it's a brand that's been around since, as you said, the late 1800s. How does that feel to still be an independently owned family business when most companies are owned by large corporations in today's day?
I feel very comfortable about this situation, as we are so emotionally binded to the heritage and the tradition of this company. And you can imagine today, for example, when you're sitting here, Mr. Bucherer is visiting also our booth. He's already 75 years old. It's the third generation, and it makes it so different because every watch bears the name of his grandfather, so that it's very special, and that's also how we lead the company. I lead it with a lot of care and with a long-term thinking, so there is never a name to do a short-term business deal or something. Now, when we have our board directors meeting, besides the board is very small, it's Mr. Bucherer and Mr. Zumbi, so we are 3 people who are really leading this company. And yeah, it's just a big pleasure, and we are just a long-term oriented company.
Tell us a little about your mindset of where the watch industry is going for the next couple of years. Obviously, 5-6 years ago, thick watches, big watches were in. Now, thin watches are in. Where are you guys? Or any new ideas coming out at Karl Bucherer?
I think the most important is that every brand needs to keep its own DNA, and we are in a very lucky position as we have some kind of duality. On the one hand side, we have our own movement manufacturing in Sascha, and we are quite famous for our own in-house caliber, the A1000, where you can have it in different options, in a way 1001, 2, 3 and 4. But and this is like the technical innovation we can provide to the market. On the other hand, we have also the whole history about working with jewelry and diamonds, and we are in a very good position to combine both. So at the moment our sales are 70% men and 30% women, but for both clientele we have a lot of credibility, and that's very important. And what you were mentioning before, also we have very bulky watches. We have one line, it's called the Bucherer line. This is like our strong line where we have sizes of 42 to 47 millimeter diameter.
You're wearing a beautiful three-piece suit in that watch. It looks amazing in that suit.
It's 3-time zone, GMT, chronograph, the monopoussoir, which you can indicate the 3rd time zone, made in our own in-house manufacturing in Sascha, and it's patented worldwide. This is a unique piece, by the way. Arnold Schwarzenegger was here during the fair, and he ordered this piece for himself.
Oh, that's amazing.
Exactly this piece, because I show him some novelties, But then he saw this one on my wrist, and okay.
How does it feel to be able to have people like that? I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger, I was actually with him also. He could go and get any watch. How does it feel as the CEO that, you know, he comes into your booth, looks at your watch, and purchases it?
I mean, it's a privilege because you know, Arnold is working with another watch company very closely, and he's really a watch lover and a connoisseur. So when he comes to the booth, then just asking if I can show him the novelties, and then when he sees them, even would like to have one. I mean, this is amazing.
Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank you, sir.